can't tie you off. Okay, good morning. I am Zheng Hui Peng from Sun Yat-sen University. On behalf of my students, Tianjian Liu, Hongzhen Zhao, Yuheng Liu, and Dr. Xinbo Wang from Cornell University, I present this paper, ComPeer, a generative conversational agent for proactive peer support. Did you ever feel stressed? For example, when your paper get rejected, when you are reaching a DDL, or when your supervisor puts you? I believe many of us will talk to our friends when we are stressed, and we can feel relief if they care about us. Such peer support is generally beneficial, but our friends are not always there for us. Conversational agents are always there for us. Previous conversational agent for peer support usually requires the users to start conversations, and such kind of user-initiated design could decrease the user's passions to interact with the agent. The system-initiated agent, on the other hand, can keep the conversation alive and improve conversation productivity. But previous system-initiated agents, they are usually rule-based and may send messages in the wrong context. What if we have a generative conversational agent for proactive peer support? What if we have an agent that can adaptively initiate a peer support chat that care about our stress issues at the right time? In this work, we present ComPeer, a generative conversational agent for proactive peer support. It can run about the users from the dialogue and plan the timing and content of proactive messages that care about us. We have a user study that evaluates ComPeer and demonstrates the usefulness of the proactive messages from ComPeer, and we offer design implications for proactive agents in healthcare scenarios. Let me show you an example. On 7 p.m., a user is talking with ComPeer, saying that he is nervous about presentation today and he does not know how to make a PowerPoint for this. ComPeer shares what it is doing, confirms the users, and offers suggestions. The amazing thing is that on 10 p.m., ComPeer can proactively send a message to the user saying that, how is your PowerPoint going? I think your efforts will pay off, so don't worry and have a good rest. This is exactly what the users was worried about and make the users feel relief. We adopt a user-centered process to design and develop ComPeer. We first survey existing conversational agents in mental health domains and prepare 6 example proactive dialogues of ComPeer to interview users, interview 5 conversational users and 3 psychological students. Then we develop the prototype of ComPeer inspired by the Stanford Town paper last year in the last best paper in UIST, and we, based on this first prototype, we test it and iterate it for 2 months, and now we present the ComPeer that arrives with 4 design principles. First, the ComPeer should have a consistent persona. The persona should be customizable and similar to the users, and the content of the proactive messages should include the sharings of the agent's daily life and concerns on the user's specific conditions. ComPeer should also adapt the frequency of the proactive messages based on the content of the messages and the user's reaction to its previous proactive messages. And lastly, it should apply effective peer support strategies. Here is the architecture of ComPeer, including 5 modules for proactive peer support. They are the memory module, reflection module, event detector, schedule, and dialogue generation modules. The memory module is a database that contains the conversation history, including the short-term and long-term memories. The short-term memory holds the conversation context, while the long-term memory stores all the past dialogue records. When generating a response, the long-term memory utilizes the IAG technique to search for related memory. This related memory and the short-term memory are sent to the dialogue generation module, which is responsible for generating peer-like, consistent, and supporting messages to the response to the users. And these 2 modules is what normal passive conversational have, and this is the baseline passive version of the ComPeer used in our later user study. So our ComPeer have 3 additional modules. The event detector modules prepares the content and infers the timing as an event from the recent conversations for future ComPeer's proactive messages. The event is about the user's negative feelings, poor physical condition, challenges, and plan. For example, an event can indicate that on the coming 10 p.m., ComPeer can proactively care about the user's presentation and PowerPoint making. At the beginning of each day, the reflection module will ask itself what you learned about the users from the conversations yesterday. Does the user feel negative emotions due to something? Are the users face challenging or difficulties? And what plan does the users have tomorrow? The answer to these questions help the schedule module to initiate the plan for the proactive care on a day. The schedule module can also update the plan proactive messages on that day based on the input from the event detector, and it can also adjust the frequency of proactive messages based on the important value of each planned event and whether users reply to its previous proactive messages within 3 hours. We deploy ComPeer as a bot in the instant messaging app QQ in China. In the 1 week between subject study, we recruit 24 Chinese university students to either interact with the ComPeer or a passive-based write agent every day. At the end of each day, participants will fill a questionnaire, and after the between subject study, we have all the 24 participants use the ComPeer every day for another week. Here is the overview of the statistical findings. I will highlight several key findings in the following slides. As for the effects on the stress management, we found that participants with either ComPeer or the baseline agents, they actually, both groups, they perceive significantly less stress after interacting with it for 7 days. This indicates that the generated peer support messages are generally helpful, but we found that ComPeer performs better in making the users feel relief over time. For example, one participant said, on this morning, it remembers the academic pressure I mentioned yesterday and encouraged me to make a daily plan, which made me feel supported and relaxed. Participants with ComPeer also gradually develop a stronger sense that they are receiving good advice from the ComPeer than those participants with the baseline agent. This improvement can be also account for the proactive messages. For example, one participant said, when it proactively encourages me to overcome the anxiety from the exam and give me some tips based on its experience, I feel that the agent put itself in my place to give me advice. We also found that both the baseline and the ComPeer, the participant perceive that the persona are coherent and interesting, and they report similar perception regarding the relationship they build with the agent. For perception of the proactive messages, we find that participants are satisfied with the received proactive messages. We categorize the topic and subtopic of each proactive message in the graph table here, and we found that the participants tend to be more satisfied with the proactive messages that care for the users than the self-disclosure messages. For example, participants said, when it inquired me whether my illness had relief, I felt touched and accompanied. However, there's some drawbacks of the proactive messages. Participants have concerns, for example, if the agent shares that it is studying hard, okay, the users actually they may feel peer pressures. And the sharing of the agent's entertainment can sometimes be boring. The sharing, and non-surprisingly, some proactive messages can be disturbing. When analyzing the dialogue history with the conversational agent, we find that the proactive messages can boost the participants' engagement with the agent. Participants will share more concerns, thoughts, feelings, joy, and daily life with the ComPeer than the baseline agent. And in time preference, we found that participants, they actually prefer interacting with the agent in the afternoon or evening. In the extended 1 week study, the baseline users, they also use ComPeer. They report that the proactive advice can help them relieve stress, feel accompanied, and develop long-term relationships. They also report peer pressures from the proactive messages. In summary, the benefits of the proactivity in human-agent interaction include it can facilitate the stress management, improve the amount and effectiveness of providing advice, and improve user engagement. We discussed concerns on the following issues, for example, as for the peer pressures, and we prompt the agents to be always positive, but this may be not the best solutions for these conditions. And we also discussed the possession of the disturbance, misinformation, privacy, and reliances, and please check the paper for details. And we derived the design acceleration for generative conversational agents in peer support. Our architecture are purely based on the generative agents, and we found that we encourage users to base the generative advice based on the professional resources, and they should also handle the repeatedly mentioned user events more appropriately. Our work limitations are mostly about the study design, and our work can actually be generalized to other human-agent interaction contexts. For example, as a proactive learning partner, as a traveling companion, and product recommender. I thank the co-authors again. And the first author, Tianjian Liu, is looking for PhD opportunities. He's a great student, and please email him. And the Dr. Xinbo Wang from Cornell University is also looking for research-related positions in industry and academic, and he will, in the poster session, after this session, and please talk to him. And the source code and paper is in this link and in this QR code. And thank you.
Thanks, Professor Peng, for his great talk, and also please reach out to the authors. And also, you can reach out to Professor Peng. He had a very great lab, I think, at the San Yat-sen University. So if you have questions, please line up over there. Yeah.
Hi, Tony Tang from Singapore Management University. I'm interested in this because it seems like proactive support seems to be about authenticity, I would imagine, right? Somebody is asking about how I'm doing and stuff like this. And I'm curious about, the proactive message seems to have a part in there that is immediately not very authentic, right? It'll say things like, I ate blah, 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 or I was at some NLP seminar or something like this. These are things that the agent is definitely not doing, right? It's not really authentic. So I'm kind of curious the thought process behind that, or how the participants thought about that. Did the participants think that they were actually interacting with a real person, or did they pretend, or like, so I'm kind of curious about that.
Okay. First, I think you have two questions. The first is the how to generate the proactive messages that self-disclosure, the agents, what it is doing, and the second question is how the participants thought about it. The first question, actually, we rely purely on the generate the capability of the large language model, and we do not pre-train, we do not have data to fine-tune the agent, and this is one direction to improve. And for the second question, as I remember, all the participants, they actually feel, okay, the self-disclosure of the agents they derive is natural in our user study, and but their satisfaction with such kind of messages, proactive messages, are not as high as those proactive messages that care about the users. But I think the self-disclosure ones messages are needed because it make the agents more lively, and it's not like a tool, it's like really a peer there. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Hua Li from University of Pittsburgh. Really liked the research, and you did a really good presentation. My question is about, we can see clear that the proactive message sent by the agent is helpful in addressing the stress of the participants. But I was wondering, what are the benefits of using LLM to back up such a system-initiated conversation agent instead of using other methods, like a rule-based method or like user modeling or other algorithm back there?
Okay. Yeah, as you can see, all the modules here are supported by the large language model, and the benefit of it, as we all know, this is LLM sessions, and it is with LLM we do not need to hand code those rules for this for all the models here, and yeah, but we also acknowledge the limitation of only using the LLM here. Yeah, this we can discuss in the poster session that what will be the way to improve, to incorporate the existing, for example, data set with the LLM to support this task.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Professor Feng. And